It is Wednesday, March 25th, 2026. This is an opening day edition of Baseball Today. That is my man, Trevor Plouffe. I am Chris Rose, producer Dan along for the ride as well. My gosh, I have waited so many months to utter that phrase. How did it sound?
Scary. I know everyone's so excited, but for me, this is the scary hours, man. We got a lot of baseball to cover. It feels like a heavy weight, but a good one, like a weighted blanket, if you will.
Yes. Okay. A weighted blanket.
I don't have a weighted blanket, but people love them.
Yeah, I think we've got one somewhere. Maybe
Yeah.
I should do some.
You're not like nervous when the season starts?
Nervous? No.
No, you're excited
to get nervous for that stuff. No, I'm excited. I like to see the new players who we've got, the old players in new places, all sorts of stuff. I think it's.
I mean, I'm excited too, Chris, but like I just feel like this becomes the most busy time of year for me.
I'll tell you what I don't like is not wearing a hat on this show, but I've got to because it's my sister-in-law Denise. It's Michelle's sister's birthday, so we're all going to a thing right afterwards.
Where are you going?
Yeah, just somewhere.
Brunch?
Yeah, kind of a half-day affair. Don't worry, I'll be back seated in front of the television for my first maiden voyage for Netflix baseball coverage. We'll talk about that momentarily. We'll start off with kind of a fun tip of the cap. We're all looking forward to our teams getting going on opening day, whether that's today for the Yankees and Giants fans, most of the rest of the league on Thursday, and 6 teams on Friday. But I want to give the Toronto Blue Jays some credit for what they're doing 2 months from now on May 25th. They have got one of the great bobbleheads of all time coming out. And we remember the famous picture with Vlad Jr. and his pops. There's little Vladdy tipping his helmet right next to his pops up in Montreal. Well, look at this. They've got the tiny Vlad bobblehead. Oh, come on, man. That is well done, marketing department.
Expos logo on it?
Yeah, why not? I mean, that's the picture.
Okay, I'm fine with that. I thought they might just blank it out or.
I mean, they nailed it too. Look at that. They totally nailed it.
Yeah, they nailed it. I mean, that's one of the cooler pictures you're ever going to see.
That's great. That's great. I think they host the Marlins that day, so go get your tickets now if you can get into the game. I'm not so sure that's going to happen, but that's awesome. Meantime, it is game time. Let's do it. Baseball season gets going officially tonight. Giants hosting the New York Yankees. It'll be Fried and Webb. You can see it on Netflix. Plouffe, the Yankees have only made one World Series since winning it all back in 2009. Is this team definitely built for a championship?
Well, if you're going to ask me if I have them going to the World Series, we'll get to that later. I think they can go on a championship run. I think they're going to make the playoffs. I think they have a chance in the playoffs, particularly because I'm envisioning the rotation, come June and then throughout the rest of the season, and they can pare it down the playoffs. I mean, that to me, when you got a rotation of Fried, Rodon, and Cole, which I'm just envisioning them being healthy, plus some young guys like a Schlittler, Ryan Weathers, can't wait to see what he looks like, plus the depth they have behind that. Like, they have what it takes in that regard. Plus, again, it's weird because like I don't see them this way, but they had like the best offense in baseball last year.
Mm-hmm.
So you're taking those two things and putting them together, and yeah, you could say, man, not great on the base pass, not great defensively, but starting pitching, offense, and then like the bullpen's good too. I think, yes, they're built for a championship run. You'll find out later if I have them going to the championship.
Yeah, I think there's probably only 6 or 7 teams that we could answer yes to, and they're one of them, right? I mean, offensively, you're starting with Aaron Judge, who a couple of years ago, our one-of-a-kind producer, Dan Rourke, everybody knows him as this uber Yankee fan, and he said, listen, he is the best right-handed hitter we've definitely had in the last 30 years, and he's getting in the conversation of best all time. And you and I gave him pushback, like, stop being the Yankee homer. Well, I think that discussion is very serious at this point. I don't think there's a question that he's kind of, I'm not going to say blown past what Miguel Cabrera and Albert Pujols did, because the precedent they set was very, very high. But they're all, what are you looking at, funny?
I think it's Pujols and him.
Okay, more than Miggy?
I think he's done better than Miggy, which I love Miggy.
Yeah. Well, so, when you're looking at the OPS numbers and things of that nature and what he's done compared to those other guys, it's pretty stark. The guy in the last 4 years has averaged 52 and a half homers, and he's missed some time during those 4 years as well. I mean, he just is. We probably have gotten there in judge fatigue. He's really remarkable, and the difference he makes when he is in that lineup as opposed to when he's not is the difference between a team that can win a World Series and one that would struggle to make the playoffs, in my opinion. So you start there. Yeah, Garrett Cole, it looks like he's coming back. He won't say May 1st. He scoffed at that a few days ago, but middle of May wouldn't shock you. Rodon just got put on the 15-day injured list. Wouldn't shock me if we see him by the end of April, certainly. To me, I suppose the question is, like, can a guy like Camilo Doval get back to what he was in San Francisco? Because he was horrific for the Yankees. Totally lost his spot in the back end of that bullpen. If he can get back to what it was, then you're filling some holes for the Yankees, and you feel good about where they are.
Yeah, I think eventually some of those guys that are in the rotation now are also going to get kicked back to the bullpen, and
Right.
that helps out as well for some of the innings. But yeah, I'm in on the team.
It doesn't feel like there's any glaring spot. Like shortstop will be interesting,
Yeah.
right? The way they handle that.
It's always like, what's the health of Giancarlo?
Mhm.
What he's looking like. I think that's a big part of this team, and health just in any team. You could say that about any franchise.
But
But yeah, again, I'm banking on the pitching staff and the offense to repeat. And if you put those two things together, you're talking about one of the better teams in the AL.
yeah, and if I'm listing like the best teams, if I'm doing a preseason power rankings, it's the Dodgers 1, and then the Yankees are somewhere 2 through 5, depending on how I really feel about clubs. But yeah, like I said, there's 6 or 7 teams that go into this thing where I feel really good about them having a shot at the World Series and winning it all. And there could be some teams that pop up that surprise you along the way, but Yankees are there. And I'm sure Yankee fans feel exactly that way, and they probably want to hit the fast forward button to second half of the year to see what their team looks like, to see if they have to make any moves, and then to see what they get going down the stretch. And that's that. That's the Yankees. I'm not going to say they're boring, but they're good, and I think they're fairly predictable for 6 months.
Okay.
That's what I think. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Is it possible?
You're never wrong.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I definitely am. All right. Today's episode of Baseball Today is sponsored by Warby Parker. Yeah, buying glasses, it used to feel way more complicated than it should be. Confusing pricing, limited styles. Somehow everything ended up costing way more than you ever expected. Well, Warby Parker completely changed that by making the process simpler and more affordable as well. Their prescription glasses, they start at just $95. So you're getting high quality, stylish frames without paying the massive prices you usually see elsewhere. And Warby Parker doesn't just stop at glasses. They also offer sunglasses, contacts, online eye exams, so you can take care of everything your eye needs in one single place. And maybe the best part of it all, for every pair of glasses sold, Warby Parker distributes a pair to someone in need. Through their Buy a Pair, Give a Pair program, they've already helped distribute over 20 million pair of glasses. Now, right now, buy one prescription pair, get 20% off any additional prescription pairs at warbyparker.com/today. That's 20% off additional prescription pairs when you go to Warby, that is WARBY, parker.com/today. After your purchase, they're going to ask you where you heard about them. Please support this show. Tell them that we sent you. Your baseball viewing will be picture perfect throughout the 2026 season. I promise you. All right, so let's talk about the team that the New York Yankees are going to be taking on Wednesday night. The San Francisco Giants. They have added a multi-time batting champion in Luis Ariz. They brought in Harrison Bader to strengthen the outfield, both offensively and defensively. A couple of back-end rotation guys, Molly and Hauser. But is it true that the most interesting storyline to watch this year in San Francisco is that of their rookie manager, Tony Vitello?
He's one of, I don't want to give that to managers. You know how I feel about that. I'm very curious to see how it all shakes out. But again, like, what are we going to see? We might not even see him at all. Just sit in the dugout and let the game play, right? Like, so he's going to have to do something either stupid or like if he doesn't do anything stupid, we're not going to hear from him, right?
No, I mean, you'll hear
Like,
from him twice a day before and after
but
the
you know what
game.
I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
best case scenario for Tony Vitello is that nobody's talking about him, unless 2 weeks into the season they're 10-2, and then like, oh yeah, Tony Vitello, he's got these guys really playing hard. Like I understand the sentiment, and I am interested in him. But again, I just don't think we're going to be talking about him unless something bad happens. And then every once in a while, like, oh yeah, he's got the boys playing. So I think it's more like full season of Rafael Devers working with Ron Washington. Like, I want to see what his defense looks like. Same thing with Luis Ariz. Like, I want to see does what I always say, like hard work can make you better at defense, repetition. Ron Washington, does that play out? And then I think more eyes should be on Buster Posey. I mean, this is his team. This is his roster. It really hasn't happened for them. They've been a middling team, essentially. They've made moves, but I think it's more on the roster. I love the additions they made. I love Harrison Bader in that lineup, being able to move Jung-Hoo Lee over to right field. Like, I think they have a really fun roster that I'll probably be focusing more on than Tony Vitello.
You make a good point that we're probably not even going to know all the stuff. It's all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes with a manager.
Yeah.
I mean, we could sit here and criticize bullpen moves. I mean, we do that for the most seasoned guys in the game, right? Even Tony La Russa at the end of his Cardinals career in 2011, he was making World Series gaffes here and there. And we knew that was a future Hall of Famer, and we were taking shots at his lack of bullpen management. So that stuff, to me, that's going to be part of the equation that any manager goes through, whether you have big league experience or you don't. So it's the stuff behind the scenes. How is he? He pegs the interesting-ometer as far as I just came up with that phrase. So
yeah, interesting-ometer.
Well, he does because of the way he talks. He's so energized every time he speaks. And every article that has come out of Giants spring training was, this is the way he is. And it's not fake. And it's not the college rah-rah. It's something that you buy in and you do. Oh, you kind of shook your head at it.
What? What? No.
Okay, you could say it. Go ahead if you got something to say.
I don't know the guy, so I don't
either.
I don't really have like a strong opinion. I just see clips of him, and again, every time we kind of talk about this guy, and like I will say, yeah, look, it seems a little like he needs to chill out. Like, this is Major League Baseball. Like, the games are going to take care of themselves. Like, I get pushback from people that reach out to me, players that have played for him, and they say he's a great guy. So I'm like Ollie Marmol. Like, I kind of had like a weird thing with him going on because he's got an interesting attitude. I got pushback on that, so I was like, all right, I'll give him a chance. And I feel like it's like almost the same situation. Like, you don't know him, I don't really know him,
but doesn't
the people that I trust in the game are in on this guy?
Yeah, and doesn't that make it fascinating then?
I guess. I swear, Chris, I think once the season gets started, we're barely going to talk about.
You want to see
how often
AI
do we
managers.
talk about managers?
You want to see AI managers. You're more interested
in AI
managers.
I don't. I just don't think we talk about managers that often anyway. So like, it's really weird that we are fixating on this guy.
Well, because it's the first of its kind. We're always fascinated with something that's the first of its kind.
It's a good point.
I mean, that's what it is. It's the combination of the first of its kind and the emotion he seemingly brings to the sport. Correct me if I'm wrong here. This is the vibe I'm getting from you, is that you're equating Tony Vitello to what we saw in the World Baseball Classic from Venezuela and the Dominican. Like, it could work in short spurts, but I'm not sure over 162 games I want to see guys jumping the rails on a second inning homer.
Is he going to be doing that? Like, have we seen that in spring training? That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like we haven't heard anything about him in spring training except for the time that he called out the reporters.
Right.
Other than that, I haven't heard a damn thing about him.
But he did go into the crowd in Tennessee and high-five fans after big wins and stuff like that. Like, I don't expect him to do that the first time they have a walk-off in San Francisco. I don't think he's going to go 10 rows deep and be like, hey, what's up, dudes?
No, I think that he'll keep it in the clubhouse, and he'll probably act like that in the clubhouse with the guys, which is great. But I don't think outwardly we're going to see that. I think that he's probably like already seen the backlash that he got from just that one interview.
Yeah.
And a good manager will say, I don't want to be a distraction to my team.
I want to get him on dugout discussions this year.
I'm sure that'll happen.
I do find him really interesting. Maybe because it is something new.
Can we get Ryan Walker back to 2024 can we get that back? Like these are the things that I'm looking at the Giants. I want the Giants to be good, Chris.
Me too.
They just haven't been good.
Me too. And, it's interesting because when I do a lot of radio shows up in San Francisco, and they always say, well, for years and years, we got bypassed by these guys and these, 9-figure deals, and they'd go elsewhere, or Farhan would offer Bryce Harper a 4-year deal instead of a 13-year deal, so he knew he had no shot at him. And I say, you've got a $300 million baseball player. It's just you traded for him instead of signing him to a free agent contract. It cost you some players. Now, whether or not that's going to hurt you somewhere down the line, I don't know. But you have, when you and I are in the same boat on Rafael Devers, like when he is right, he's one of the top 10 hitters in baseball, right?
Yep.
So you've got your guy. Now, could they have gone out and gotten Framber, pair him with Logan Webb and Robbie Ray? That would have been fun.
They fancy themselves somewhat of a pitching factory there. So they like to live on the peripherals, it seems like to me, like finding diamonds in the rough, helping guys, veteran guys kind of find a new level at the back end of their career.
Okay. A couple other things we're keeping our eye on tonight. ABS system. Now it's going to count. It's not just spring training because now it has an effect on the game. How interested are you in seeing it the first few weeks?
Way more than thinking about Tony Vitello. Like this is actually has like a real impact on the game. And I just the storylines are going to write themselves. Like who's allowed to do it? Who's going to abuse the system? What are the umpires going to do? I think one thing we saw at the end of spring training was how quickly you're going to have to challenge, or else the umpires won't allow it. I think that's going to come into play quite a bit.
It will.
Where you react to the call and they're like, no, and you want to challenge it, and they're like, no, sorry, you got to do it right away. And that's going to be an issue. So guys are going to have to like kind of hold their emotions in and make sure like they're like, I got to go right away with it. But yeah, I'm fascinated by it. I can't wait to see who do you think is going to be the first guy to do it?
Oh, somebody's definitely doing it in Wednesday's game.
Yeah. So like, is it so it's in San Francisco, so Yankees will hit first. Like, is Aaron Judge going to be the first one? Dan is saying Jazz. What's he hitting in the lineup, Jazz?
Maybe
yeah, I think Judge might do it first. Pitch down low. Nah, man, that's a ball. Boom.
Well, Logan Webb loves to live around that strike zone.
Yeah.
And
I don't think Jazz is going to get the green light to do it. How about that?
Well, that's the other thing. What would you have gotten the green light back in the day?
Not when I was a young pup. No, absolutely not.
6 years in,
you think Ron Gardner would let a rookie do anything? No, he didn't, dude.
I'm saying once you were an established player, 4 or 5 years in, you would have gotten.
I was part of the veteran council when Paul Molitor was there, so that was nice for me. Yeah.
Veteran council.
Yeah.
Did you guys have little tiki torches and everything?
It's like me, Suzuki, Dozier, and maybe I forget who the pitchers were.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think it'll be fun. It'll be fascinating. I'm curious to see who's going to be the first guy that looks like shit, because the batters actually were sub 50% accuracy in spring training. The catchers were way better than the hitters at this whole thing. And the pitchers basically are sitting this thing out, which I think they should. There's no way you want to get you got enough shit dealing on the mound.
Yeah, and the catcher, it's interesting because the catcher has a better like idea than you do. Like you're going full force, like just like the way the pitchers throw now. It's not like super in control of their mechanics, especially at that time when the ball crosses the plate. They're still kind of like finishing up. Like let the catchers do it. If I was running a team, I'd say the catchers are the ones that are challenging. Get the emotion out of it for you. And again, like you're just moving too much. The catcher is literally sitting there with his eyes right on the ball. So let him do it. And the batters, I would be very, very particular of who I let do it.
So to me, the most interesting thing to watch will be the catcher umpire dynamic, because the first time the catcher taps his head and gets it either right or wrong, either the umpire's sitting there being like, God damn, you got me.
It shouldn't happen.
It shouldn't.
Yeah.
But we're dealing with human beings, and there are, I don't know. I hope that the umpires are able to just say, I hope that we're able to see how good the umpires are, to be honest with you, with this system. That's what I hope.
I want to see an umpire do a double punch out, like punches them out, guy challenges it, ends up being a strike, and he goes, Yeah.
I'm in on the double punch.
Yeah.
Ooh, God, I like that.
Yeah.
Or have a second umpire, like, on standby. Like, he turns to the umpire who's sitting in row 1.
Yeah,
Bring
they
him
should
up.
do that, like, on just the video board instead of just, like, showing the pitch, they should, like, have some sort of, like, graphic that
Oh,
comes
yes,
up,
like some
man.
sort of fun animation.
Yeah.
Like, "Fuck it, sit down.
Yeah. Wrong.
Let's go for it." The other thing I wanna ask is, this is the first ever baseball game that's gonna be on Netflix. How interested are you in watching how they cover a baseball game?
Wrong because they had the Japanese rights to the
I'm talking about
WBC.
Major League Baseball
I had to
regular.
just do that to you. I
Thank
had
you.
that one in the chamber right here. I'm very interested. I
And
love,
by
like
the way, hold on, that was a world feed. That was very different
I know.
than what we're looking at here. Full
Agreed.
pregame, full everything with this.
I'm very interested. We got some fun names, like, kind of doing it. It seems like almost like too many people, in the kitchen there, but I like the production values of different things. Like, I enjoyed watching some of the Apple, like, the cameras and, like, kind of
Mhm.
the way they made it look. I'm curious what Netflix is gonna do with it. I think it's Hunter Pence, CC, and Veskurgen in the booth with Shahadi on the field. I think that's gonna be good. I like
Mhm.
CC, I like Hunter Pence. I think Veskurgen's good. So I'm and obviously Shahadi's like an
Great.
absolute stud.
Yeah.
So I think they did a good job picking.
Yeah, I think they nailed the booth for this. I think it'll be fun to listen to CC in a booth because we haven't heard very much of that. We've heard a few.
CC and me in a booth will be better.
Oh,
I'm just
okay.
saying that.
Yeah, there you go.
No offense to Hunter Pence. He's come to the warehouse. We love Hunter Pence. But I'm a supremely confident guy that I think I'm good.
Yeah, but you just didn't win multiple World Series with the team that's
Yeah,
playing
I
on
know. That's
Netflix.
the one
That's
thing.
all. It's
Yeah. Well,
okay. That's the drawback. There have been a lot of people that are critical because the names have popped out with who's joining L. Duncan on the set, presumably just for drive-bys, whether it's Bert Kreischer, and I'll gladly take my shirt off just like Bert because I have no problem doing that in the warehouse. Maybe a little bit more on Netflix. The Uso brothers are joining them from the wrestling world. So people are saying, "Well, can I just watch the game?" People, I just got to let you know, they're trying to, appeal to a broader audience than just baseball. They've got you and me and Plouffe and everybody else. We're all watching the game. So it's whatever can drag additional people in so that they can be a part of this. And you might hate it. You might love it. It's not for you. That's all. That's all I have to say is that now it might work and it might not work, but that's the philosophy behind it. That's all.
Yes.
So I'm curious. I can't wait to watch it all. Being kind of a TV/streaming nerd that I am, I want to see how it goes. And I've worked with some of the people on Netflix. I did the hot dog eating competition, so they're good people over there. I wish them luck. What are you
You're
laughing?
like Wikipedia has to be
Oh, it's
fascinating.
weird, man. It is a weird thing. All right, this next segment is brought to you by MLB The Show 26. We're going to predict our division winners for this year, then compare our predictions to the winners with a simulated MLB The Show season. So there you go. All right, let's see how we do. We're going to start off in the American League, and we're going to go through each division. How do we have this set up, Danny? Do you have like a full list for each of us? What do we got? Oh, yeah. We'll do the bracket later for the World Series predictions. So let's just go. We'll bounce back and forth. Who do you have winning the AL East?
I have, this is probably one of the tougher divisions to pick. I have the
Mhm.
New York Yankees doing it. Again, I just like the rotation. I like where they can be. The Blue Jays are going to be there. I think the Red Sox are going to be there. The Orioles, I'm still I believe in them, but not fully. But I think the Yankees overall, we talk about all these teams. Oh, Kansas City's got Bobby Witt and Orioles got Gunnar Henderson. The Yankees have freaking Aaron Judge
Mhm.
in the middle of their lineup doing damage. And again, I just really like how the pitching staff is going to shape up. So I'm going Yankees.
Yeah, we talked about them at the top of the show. I've got the Yankees, although it was tough. I kind of kicked it around. You've got the reigning American League champion Toronto Blue Jays, and you have to remember both the Yankees and the Blue Jays tied for the most wins in that division, and Toronto won the tiebreaker.
They
And
kicked their butt last year, right? If
they
I'm not mistaken, yeah.
Yeah, they whooped them. They whooped them a lot. They took it to them during the regular season and obviously in the divisional round as well. But I've got the Yankees as well, and that was tough for me, and you'll see why in a second. American League Central.
The Blue Jays went 8-5 against the Yankees last year,
That's
plus the
pretty.
playoffs. Yeah,
It's not bad. Yeah, they won 3 of 4 in the playoffs, so that's good. AL Central, you've got
Tigers. I like this one a lot. I feel like there's a chance Kansas City can sneak in and cause some havoc. I like what they did with Isaac Collins, bringing him in. They've been looking for outfield kind of offense. So if you get him and Caglione going, the infield is gonna be just fine with Michael, Bobby Witt, and Vinny. But to me, the Tigers are just kind of the class of the division still. I like the top 2, maybe top 3 of their rotation, and they just feel like they're on a mission. And the separator for me, truly, Chris, is they're all in this year with Scooble. It wouldn't surprise me if they made a big time move at the trade deadline to fortify whatever it is. If it's bullpen help,
lineup.
if some kind of lineup help, a big bat. McGonagall's there. They're ready to go. I just think they're willing to make the big move that I don't know if the Royals are.
Yeah, it's interesting. The Tigers haven't won the division since 2014, and they had it in the palm of their hand last year. They were up 15.5 games. I
hope you're taking
little
the Guardians. I hope, because they've won it 2 of the last 3 years. They're the winningest team since 2013, except for the Dodgers, Yankees, or Dodgers, Astros, I believe it is.
Oh, Dodgers and Yankees, and then it's the Guardians, third highest winning percentage in regular season baseball, which is exactly why I am going with the Detroit Tigers to win the division. Yeah,
you know what?
What? I don't ever pick the Guardians. Even when they were decent, I had a hard time.
That's actually true. Like, you're doing reverse psychology with them, but I feel like now is a time to actually not do that.
Right. I guess so. Yeah, I think the Tigers are really good. I would have liked to have seen them add some offense, but they are really. We've heard Scott Harris say it multiple times. We believe in our young guys, and they're going to be ready to help us this year. And Kevin McGonigal, the number 2 prospect in all of baseball, we'll see a 21-year-old on opening day. I'm excited for him. I'm excited for the Tigers fans. I'm excited to listen to Benetti and crew. Andy Dirks, I think they're an underrated announcing team. Well, Benetti obviously is highly rated, but
I love Dirks, yeah.
I think he does an excellent job. AL West, who's your champion?
There was some thought about the Astros here, because I'm in on this team. I think people are really they're looking past what is just a winning formula down there in Houston. They could have made the playoffs last year, ended up the tiebreaker. They lost to Detroit, I believe. But I got the Mariners. I think they're a complete team. They've made the moves they needed to make. I love Brendan Donovan. He just fits the roster. I love the pitching staff. You got, middle of the order bats and Naylor and Raleigh, and they seem to me like there's just, like, if you take one piece out, like, they still have enough. Do you know what I mean? So I think the depth is there. It's a complete roster, so I'm going the Mariners. Over 162, I think they're just going to run away with that division.
This is the easiest division for me in the American League, and I didn't even think twice about it. I just believe that much in the Mariners. They had a tremendous run a year ago. To go back to Toronto and lose those games the way that they did is tough, and I think it's going to sit with them. And this is the only franchise that hasn't appeared in the World Series. This is it. Only team. And if their off-season marketing campaign is any harbinger on what we're going to see from their baseball team throughout the regular season, they're going to be A-okay, because it's like the old Sports Center ads that they're putting out there when they were really good. So maybe that threw me over the top, in addition to a really good starting pitching staff. Hopefully Brian Wu is 100% healthy, because boy, did they miss what he brings to the table. He pitched against Toronto, but that wasn't the same guy. And coming out of the bullpen, no.
Don't love that we picked all the same teams. Don't love that.
Yo, I get that, but you know what? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe we just think a little bit alike.
Are we doing wild card stuff?
We are, but I just want to let you know that MLB The Show went with Yankees, Tigers, Mariners. So MLB The Show simulation thinks a lot like Plouffe and Rose. So maybe we'll be replaced by computers pretty soon.
I don't know if Dan has last year's predictions, but we went over them on Talking Baseball.
Yeah, not good. No bueno.
I believe I had only 6 of the 12 teams in the playoffs, right?
Well, let's get to the wild card. Give me the 3 wild card teams.
I'll go quick here because I kind of talked about everyone I want to talk about. I think the Blue Jays end up making the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I do have the Boston Red Sox also making the playoffs. That one, when I put these predictions down and I'm like, oh man, like 3 teams coming out of that division might be tough because it's just the win total that means stuff in the wild card. So thinking about that, but I'm going to go Blue Jays, Red Sox, and then I am going to go to the Houston Astros. I think they're super underrated this year. I think they're going to make the playoffs.
My 4, 5, 6 teams: Toronto, Boston, Kansas City. I think Toronto and New York, that's coming down to the last week of the season. And so I had a hard time. I think I actually put Toronto as the winner of the AL East originally, but then I went back to New York. So I've got Toronto, Boston, Kansas City. I really believe that they're going to be not that far away from the Tigers. I think that the World Baseball Classic helped Vinny Pasquantino as much as almost anyone, except his teammate Michael Garcia. Really, I think
Vinny had such a good year last year too.
He did. But I'm talking about maybe being exactly who he is, because I think that we've gotten to know him very well here at Jomboy Media. But now that he was given the leadership reins for Team Italy, and now yes, this might be Bobby Witt's team, but it's going to be under Vinny Pasquantino's personality. And Salvi's still there, and I know that he's the captain and all that sort of stuff. But I don't know. I think we could see Vinny kind of take on a different role there.
I don't mind it. Like, I like the lineup. I think there's a lot of people there that can contribute, and that's kind of what they needed last year, where they finished 26 in runs, 22nd OBP, 20th OPS. They moved the fences in, so that's going to help. Their offense can hurt the pitching, which was, pretty good last year.
All right, so let's do the National League, NL East. Who do you have?
Another really tough one for me, but I've talked about it all offseason that I just like the moves they made. They needed to have massive roster turnover, and they had massive roster turnover. I'm going to the New York Mets.
We are 4 for 4.
Really?
I think they're fascinating because they got rid of a lot of guys who have helped them be a successful franchise. This is now 6 years of Stevie Cohen, and we can go back to the inaugural quote was something like, if we're not winning this thing in the first 5 years, then we're doing something wrong. Well, they just turned it on its head. They got rid of some guys or let guys walk that have been big-time producers and big names in New York City, and brought in a bunch of guys, some of whom you wonder if they can handle New York City, but it'll be fascinating. I got them winning it too. The Central.
In the Central, I just, can't overthink this one. I'm taking the Milwaukee Brewers. Look, Chicago Cubs, great, man. You had a great offseason, but we heard that before. We heard it last year, and the Brewers steamrolled you. And I think the Brewers have a chance to be better than they were last year when they won 97 freaking games. The lineup is really good. The pitching staff is as deep as it's been in a long time there. They just know how to pitch. They know how to run, prevent, and this lineup now is, what were they last year? I mean, they were a very talented offense last year. So I'm taking the Brewers. It's like one of those things, like if you didn't know payroll or reputation and just looked at the history, it's yeah, you're taking the Brewers, right?
No, I'm taking the Cubs again. Brewers.
Prepare to get hurt. I don't know what to tell you.
I won't be able to get off the plane in Milwaukee yet again. Cubs, yeah, I was very impressed with their offseason. It was a little slow to get
Brewers
started.
Were third in runs last year. That's what I was looking for.
But the Cubs have pretty much revamped the bullpen. They needed to because they had so many guys that were free agents, and plus Palencia there at the back end. Like you thought that maybe they'd have to go out and get a closer. No, they do not need to because they've got that guy. I like the Cabrera deal. I hate giving up Owen Casey, but that's all right. I'll still take a guy who's 27 years old, even though he's had multiple trips to the injured list each of the last 2 years. I'm going to cross my fingers there. And Alex Bregman, that's another guy I talked to Dino Ebel about, the Dodgers third base coach who was part of the World Baseball Classic team. And he said, just a stud. He goes, he's the smartest player I've ever been around, Chris. I was like, what? He said, smartest baseball mind I've ever been around. So sign me up when somebody says that. That's pretty impressive.
I'll say this about the Brewers, just to pat myself on the back a little more, because I think they are going to win this division. You know,
Mhm.
we always talk about the Padres having the best bullpen in baseball. I think the Brewers are going to be right there with them. Look at these names right here: Abner Uribe, Trevor
Mhm.
McGill, Jared Koenig, Aaron Ashby, Zerpa. You saw him throw in the freaking World Baseball Classic. I
Yeah,
mean, they're really loving DL Hall now too back there. So it's like they just have depth
they
everywhere.
do. They do. I know. Shame on me. Do we both have the Dodgers winning?
Dodgers, yeah.
Yeah, we don't even have to really discuss that, do we?
You know what? Dodger fans are mad when I say that. I'm like, yeah, the Dodgers are good. What are we supposed to say? But I mean,
Nothing.
so let's give them a little bit of light.
And also,
Shohei is looking insane on the mound. 11 Ks in 4 innings in his last spring start.
that's
You got to expect a better year out of Mookie. You went out and got Kyle Tucker and Edwin Diaz. Arguably, you had the best offseason of all baseball teams, and you're already back-to-back World Series champs. I mean, the rotational depth is insane. Um, the bullpen is a question mark, I guess, but you went out and
well,
got Edwin Diaz.
yeah, that's not a question mark. It's
It is because of how poorly they performed last year.
right. But what a nice thing for them to be able to go out and get one of the most consistent closers in
Yeah.
baseball the last 6 years
Yes.
and not even think for most teams, if you pay a guy like Tanner Scott $72 million and he doesn't produce and is actually the opposite of produce, just horrific, where you can't count on him at all, that would ruin most franchises. It would ruin. Instead, the Dodgers, you're like, oh yeah, we can bring in Tanner Scott in a 7-2 game in the sixth, and even if he gets in trouble, so we're leading 7-5 when he leaves, we're still going to win. Like that's what's incredible stuff. You know, Blake
Yes.
Trinan at times was really good, and at times was not very good. But they just have so many arms that they can just bring up, right? That guy
Yeah.
Klein came out of nowhere, and you're like, who is this guy? What's he doing? So good for the Dodgers. And plus, I don't think anybody else in the NL West had a wowzer offseason at all. It was kind of Sleepyville in that division. I don't know. Your 3 wild card teams are
Philadelphia Phillies, the Chicago Cubs, and this last one I don't love it, Chris. They pushed the Dodgers last year to the brink. Almost won the division out from under them, but they didn't. Won 90 games. I'm going with the Padres. Just something I can't quit that lineup. I know their rotational depth isn't there,
horrible.
but I think they can figure it out. The Giants are also a pick I considered here. I the Braves to me are still hit with the injury bug already, and I don't know. Like they have a chance, obviously. The Reds I would have had here if Hunter Green hadn't been hurt. So I'm going with like an old friend. I feel like I always pick the Padres, so I'll take them again.
I got Phillies, Brewers. So Brewers fans, you can hate for not picking them as division winner, but at least I got you going to the playoffs this year. Like you really give a shit what I think. And then the Atlanta Braves.
Okay.
I originally had the Giants in here and I took them out and I put the Braves in because you know what? I think that Walt Weiss, who's like a 7-time black belt, has got enough mental fortitude to push past all of the shit that has gone wrong. He's got to be sitting there at times saying, who the hell has got a Atlanta Braves voodoo doll? Because right now there's some weird stuff going on with our team. We got some bad juju. But let's get past that. Let's bring Schwellenbach and Waldrop back mid-season. Those will be like trades for us, hopefully. I think. Not happy with Alex Anthopoulos and his lack of movement in the offseason, but they did bring Bobby Suarez in. I think he's a dependable guy in the bullpen. I love that. And Ronald Acuna is a freaking stud, and he's going to finish in the top 3 of the MVP voting, and he's going to get the mighty Atlanta Braves back to the postseason after a year off. Okay?
I don't hate the pick.
Yeah, I went back and forth on that one. So that's that. Let's see here. The MLB The Show simulator had Phillies, Cubs, Dodgers. Those were your division champions. Phillies, Cubs, Dodgers. And that's what neither of us had. Oh,
Nope.
so that's fun. Quick reminder that MLB The Show 26, it's available now on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series S as in Steve, and X as in X-Ray. Also Nintendo Switch, and it is rated E for everyone. Yeah, rated E for everyone. All right, guys, I want to tell you about this. It's the wave. the sunset on the horizon, that island in the middle. Sounds like a day at the beach. Or for us, a day at the ballpark. Opening day is officially here, and La Playa awaits. Get away, get ready for the first pitch. Take the day off. Make opening day a vacation with Corona pregame show. That's right before the Jomboy Media live stream. That's coming your way on Thursday, March 26th. So warm up for the season with a taste of La Playa. Some of the best players in the game, they're diving in head first. You want to know what Jazz Chisholm's been up to this offseason, or what PCA thinks of his new deal and what's going to happen on opening day? Hear from these players as they share their predictions, their rituals, who they think is ready to make waves this season. Yeah, baby, baseball's officially back. Kick off the day with the Corona pregame show. That's on Thursday, March 26th. Let the vacation vibes roll all day long. Corona, this is our playa. All right, so you've heard our predictions. Now we're going to go through our bracket and see who is going to be your 2026 World Series champion. So, Plouffe, Danny boy, take us through our bracket. Oh, my goodness. Look at that thing. Anything interesting for you?
I can't even see.
Oh, come on.
Oh, you already put him in there.
Yeah, this is it.
Okay. I only gave him my CS predictions. It's hard to know who's going to be like line up in the wild card and the DS and stuff like that. So I gave him my championship series predictions. So the rest of the stuff Dan just filled in, a little behind the scenes.
He had to use logic and math with your predictions to figure it out because, yeah, it is kind of weird, right? The 1 seed plays the 4-5 winner. We don't reseed in baseball, which is utterly ridiculous.
I'm going to the CSs because that's what I picked here.
Go for it.
I got the Yankees matching up against the Mariners. I think it's the Mariners' year this year, so I have them there. I have the Phillies slaying the mighty Dragon and the Dodgers in the NLCS. Unfortunately for them, that will be their World Series as they lose to the Mariners in the actual World Series. And the city of Seattle celebrates an NFL title and a World Series title in the same year. Let's go Mariners. I said this to Jake, that friction between Cal and Randy causing energy throughout the year. I love it.
I mean, that's some crazy talk for you. You know, it doesn't happen that often. It has happened before where we've had a Super Bowl champion and a baseball champion from the same city in the same year. It happened in Boston?
Yeah.
You know, I think 2018 is when it happened in Boston, and there's been a few other times where
it was the Dodgers and the Rams.
And the Rams.
Dodgers and Rams did it.
The Steelers and Pirates in 1979. They did it then. This is just off the top of my head, so I'm sure there's a few more if we all want to look them up. But I'll show you my bracket because guess what? You and I have the same World Series champion, except I've got the Mariners topping the Dodgers, who I think are going to get there. And it's just going to be like the Kansas City Chiefs a few years ago, right? You had the Chiefs make it to a third straight Super Bowl. We've never had a three-peat Super Bowl champion. Now we have, obviously, in baseball. We just haven't had it since the Yankees of 98 through 2000. And I think the Dodgers they're going to be sniffing it right there. But let's remember how close the Blue Jays were to actually freaking winning that thing twice, right? If Hoffman doesn't throw a slider to our guy Miggy Rowe, then it's down to probably the last out for Shohei Ohtani to save the Dodgers season. Or if Miggy Rowe doesn't make that amazing play at second base and nail a runner at the dish, maybe it's the Blue Jays we're talking about being the defending champions. So the Dodgers have been wonderful over the last 2 years. But, man, it was close last year that they got knocked out.
It was close.
And I really think the Mariners are going to go – I think bringing back Naylor was huge for the psyche of that team.
Yeah.
You picked it the other day. You think that Julio can be the AL MVP? Wouldn't shock me either. So you and I both – does that mean we're going to Seattle in October?
Let's do it. I'm down. I have the Phillies beating the Dodgers and completely, excuse my language, blowing their load. And then the Mariners come in and just handily beat them in the World Series.
What the? Whoa. Hey, now.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, believe me, I know what you mean.
Or do you?
I mean, we're all excited for opening day. Luke's a little more excited. It's that salmon sperm thing.
Man. Yeah, I guess I have it on my. Oh, last night. It's a nighttime routine.
Oh, it's a nighttime routine. That's important.
I look great. Look at that.
All right, listen, folks, we got a lot for you to comment about. Our predictions, we want to hear yours. Just throw out for each league. Let's have some fun. And because you know what, if you put it in the comments, and how about this? You put it in the comments, and if somebody nails it, I'll give you your T-shirt of choice for John Boy Media.
Two T-shirts for that?
Probably 2 T-shirts for that.
Give them $100 to the freaking store, Chris.
Fine, we'll give you $100 to the store. I whatever you want to do.
Has to be the right amount of games and everything.
What's that?
Has to be the right amount of games and everything, right?
I mean, not really. No.
You might have to give it to a bunch of people. If someone picks like Dodgers, Yankees, and the Dodgers win.
No, you got to give us the whole thing. You got to give us the whole division champions, wild cards.
Oh, that'd be right. Completely right.
Somebody's going to get the
T-shirts. I don't think is good enough for that.
No. Then I'll give $100 to the store for whom somebody's going to win. Okay, I'll give $100 to whomever gets the most right.
Okay, that's different.
Okay, so that's fun.
Yeah.
So let's do it. You have to give everything in the comments section. Give us division champions. Give us wild cards. Give us who beats whom. There's a little homework for everybody.
That's a lot to go through. Who's going to sift through all those answers?
That's what Dan Rourke is here for.
Okay.
For God's sakes, he loves this stuff. No?
All right.
We'll get somebody to do this.
Do some AI on that.
Yeah, we'll figure it out, and then somebody is going to walk away with $100 gift certificate to our store. And that'll be fun. We're all a community. We're a happy family here. Don't consider this a homework assignment. I was wrong by saying it that way. All right, here's the deal. We're going to shoot another episode tonight, right after the game between the Giants and the Yankees, and we're going to preview every game on Thursday as well. So if you want to hang out late night, it'll be out late on Wednesday night, or first thing Thursday morning before the Mets and the Pirates. I think they have the first game on Thursday. So make sure you enjoy the content, what we thought of Wednesday night's game, what we're thinking for your teams on Thursday. We touch on everybody, all the teams. So we cannot wait.
Here we go.
I feel good. Plouffe's nervous. I'm excited. And Plouffe is obviously extra excited based on what he said 90 seconds ago. For our one-of-a-kind producer, Dan Rourke, the uber excited and talented Trevor Plouffe, I am Chris Rose. We will see you Thursday morning for Baseball Today.